Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, and then honorable members of the committee. My name is Mrs. Oluwatobi Pamileri Dairo, representing Energy Resources Limited and OML18 Resources Limited. With me, I have my colleagues. I have
You are representing Energy Resources and
OML18 Resources.
Formerly Sahara Field.
Correct, sir.
All right.
Yes. And with me, I have my colleagues. I have Mrs. Maureen Fashino.
Before the ma'am,
okay.
What's your designation?
Oh, I'm the commercial team lead.
All right, so let's yield the floor to others to also introduce themselves.
Okay, thank you.
You have a microphone to yourself now.
Morning, everyone. My name is Maureen Fashino. I work with the finance team.
You work with?
The finance team.
Okay, what's your designation? A consultant?
Finance associate.
Oh, all right.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Abu Sufyan Jaji. I work with the commercial and planning team. Thank you.
Obviously, you are not the chief executive of this company.
Correct, I'm not the chief executive of the
Where
company.
is your chief executive now?
The way on other assignments, and he's asked the committee to extend his apologies that he cannot be here physically today, and has asked us to represent him instead.
How did he do the asking?
He wrote directly, to the esteemed members of the House and the chairman.
What's the name of your MD?
So we have
CEO,
exactly. We have a CTO, Mr. Lesty I. Weber.
Is the what?
Mr. Lesty I. Weber.
Technical officer.
Correct.
And that is the CEO.
We don't have a CEO. We have a CTO.
Yeah, I mean, is that the chief executive officer?
Yes.
That is the one who sits on top
Correct.
of the board.
Correct.
Do not accept appearance of anyone less than the chief executive officer of any business concern. By the provisions of the Directive and Privileges Act, the Parliament of the Federal Republic of Nigeria accepts only appearance before it by those who have the final authority on issues in consideration. And that is why when we sit here, it is a government concern, we expect that the chief accounting officer appears here. But because we know that things do happen once in a while beyond human control, we then say, okay, if you cannot attend, even though you are the chief executive officer, we want the person next in line to you in authority to be in attendance. I've not seen anything in the letter signed by Mr. Lesty Aiber. He just said it will be unavailable on the appointed date. Yes, Honorable Kusada, you want to say something?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I think based on the fact that the chairman or the committee, it does not accept anybody below the rank of the chief executive officer, unless if it is the immediate person that follows suit. I think if she is in the capacity or she accepts that she can withstand on behalf of him and the entire organization, she can answer all the questions that may come up, and she can take out the responsibility that will come up, then we can take her. But if you cannot do that, honestly, I think Chairman will have to excuse them.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable colleague. In other words, you are sitting here, you accept liability today as the chief technical officer of this company, and those liabilities can come in different forms.
Concerning the matters at hand, the invite, yes.
And any other matter that
I cannot guarantee. But concerning the matters of
any other matter may arise in the course of an investigation. Is that when we were in the law school, they would waste too much time on this issue. We wouldn't want to say go and then come back. We just go straight to the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome, ma'am. Please, can you administer the oath on her?
Do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before the committee and all the documents that I will present before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I'll invite the NUPRC. The update we have here with us is that you have a liability on crude oil production of 17 million USD and another 2.8 million on gas flare. But the NUPRC is in a better position to provide the figures, the exact figures for this honorable committee. NUPRC, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, everyone. For gas, for crude oil royalty, the Sahara Field OML18 has outstanding of 17,370,619.89 crude oil royalty.
Sorry, 17 million 307,000.
370,000.
Okay.
619.89 cents.
All right.
And
that is on crude oil royalty. All right.
And they have gas flare outstanding of 2,858,358.69.
Sorry, please. 2,862,000.
Yeah. 358.69. And in addition to that, there is gas sales royalty in naira,
Okay.
which is 173 million.
Sorry, please. 173 million. Yeah.
727
727
943
943.
0.05.
This one is in naira.
It's in naira.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and honorable members of the esteemed committee. I believe those liabilities should be correct because NUPRC are the custodian of the numbers.
So can you be more?
Sorry, I have a cold, so I'm struggling.
Sorry.
But can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, I said those numbers that NUPRC just presented should be correct, right? But I would like to state here that these assets that we're looking at, I'm not the operator of the asset, right? I'm just a JV member or JV partner on the asset. So it's typically the operator that has the total liability and then advises us of our equity portion of the liability. What we had presented to you is what we did internally, like our own internal assessment. We are yet to have a formal reconciliation, with the operator of the assets, being NNPC. But since NUPRC has reported the numbers, which I believe is correct, because we have other assets that we are the operator, and NUPRC usually has a correct number, so we would take that into account and go back to our operator and then have a proper sit down and reconciliation with them.
Honorable colleagues, yes, Honorable Patrick.
Thank you, my chairman. Madam, this joint venture on the asset, who are the other operators on the asset?
Sorry?
Who are the other operators on the asset?
It's just one operator.
Just one operator?
Yes.
Who are the other parties or partners?
Oh, okay. The other partners, that's us and Eriton.
Can you furnish the committee with details of the other partners?
So it's NNPC, Eriton, and OML18 Resources Limited.
Chairman, I don't know if you have taken note of the other partners on the JV.
Well, I don't know whether they provided that information also in this submission that you have. Is this information in the submission that you provided?
The equity,
no, the equity partners are not there, so they're acts pertaining to our equity, so that's what we presented to the committee.
So this liability is on who?
Our own equity.
Oh yes, so this is their own liability.
Because she's saying that she's not the company is not the operator.
Yes, I'm not the operator. Is the operator
So
typically...
it's not looking like the liabilities of the operator. Or if
No.
she's admitting that the liabilities of them, then we must know the percentage of their equity.
What I'd explained is that typically I don't have the production numbers. It's typically the operator that has those numbers, right? And they will furnish us with our equity liability. I'd said that I would take the NUPRC numbers and go and sit with my operator and get what my equity liability is. That's what I'd explained.
Okay, madam, but in your, see, we like very unequivocal responses. They help us in arriving at a just decision.
Correct.
And the figures presented by the NUPRC, you said they should be correct.
Correct.
That is not definitive.
Okay.
We want you to confirm that these are indeed the liability of your company to the federation account, under these different heads provided by the NUPRC. I don't have a conversion rate in Naira, but we're talking about 17,370,000 USD, another 2.8 million and 173 million. You agree with me that those are not small amount of money. They are small to big players like you, but to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, especially at a time like this, they are not small.
That's correct.
Yes, so we take it that you have confirmed that this assertion, this claim by the NUPRC is correct.
Typically, yes, it's correct.
All right. So the other thing we are interested in here, which I also mentioned to some of your colleagues in an earlier informal meeting, is a resolution of matters like this in very clear terms, and that is, yes, we have accepted this liability. We are going to pay up in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, or whatever time we are going to give, because we need this money. Nigeria needs this money as in yesterday.
That's correct. So yeah, we are yet to have a formal reconciliation with the operator because it's a joint.
Now, you only talk about reconciliation when there are disparities in figures. That's when you talk about reconciliation. My own layman's understanding of the word reconciliation. If you said A and I said A, there's nothing to reconcile.
Okay, so maybe I should rephrase. I would have to get like a formal assessment from my operator. Like I explained earlier, I'm not the operator of this asset, right? They should be able to advise me that these are the production numbers and this is your liability from them. I'm saying I'm confirming any PLC numbers because they see the numbers and they have the production numbers. I don't have them because I'm not the operator. The operator furnishes me with the numbers. So I agree that there's a liability, right? But I'm just yet to have a final confirmed position from my operator. That's what I'm saying.
Please, how often do you do this reconciliation with the operators? And when last did you do it?
So, based on the dynamics of these assets, we are yet to have any formal reconciliation on this.
Forever?
No. Now that the asset is now stabilized, I don't know if we know the history of the assets, we then will go ahead and have the reconciliation and agree on the number.
Very much, Mr. Chairman. Madam.
Sorry, I was looking for.
You have received this letter, or you have also received this letter. Did you discuss the letter that is sent to you by the committee before you came here?
Did I discuss?
Did you discuss with your boss about the letter that is sent you?
My operator?
Yes, inviting you to this meeting.
With our boss?
Aware of the content of the letter sent
with my boss?
Yes.
Yes. He gave a mandate that I can come represent him.
So, what I'm trying to figure out here is, since you have read the letter, definitely you should know the kind of discussion we will have in this place.
Correct.
And we expect that any questions raised, we will give a definite answer.
Correct.
Good. The NUPRC presented figures of which you confirm that yes, they are correct. I think the answer the committee wanted to know from you is that if there is no disparity, what are the definite figures from you that the committee can take and make a final resolution. This is what we are asking.
Yeah, but it's obvious, Honorable, that I don't want us to go back and forth.
Yes.
He has affirmed the correctness of the claim of the NUPRC. And
Then there is no need for any reconciliation.
no, there is none. That's exactly the position that we have made. But let's.
Nancy is when are they going to?
The chairman.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have one question so that we can resolve this. When was this remittance to federal government due?
So we're looking at numbers from 2024, so it's due immediately, ideally.
When you say immediately, I want to just rephrase this question. When was it made?
Like I said, the asset had been under some legal dispute, so we just came onto production.
Madam, come on now. Do you know that you have a submission? You are aware that you have a submission before this committee?
I'm correct, sir.
And that's your document.
Correct.
Okay, so when was, by your own document, when was the last payment made by OML18? And how much was it that was paid then?
Okay, the last payment was done in April 2024.
April 2024.
April of 2024.
Yeah, that's last year.
Can you refer us to the page?
So that means April.
It's not numbered. So if you do go to Royalty by Production 2024.
That's April.
The document is dated.
Yeah. March 2024.
What about gas?
Use your microphone, please.
Okay. Madam, that's on production. What about gas flaring? When last?
For gas, right, like I said, we are yet to have a reconciled numbers with our operator. They are the ones operating the assets, and they are the ones that have the gas.
Madam, I want to totally disagree. This is based on your submission. You have a figure.
So
this document, which you took out under,
correct,
and you laid this submission,
correct.
You have the computation there.
Yes, I do have the computation.
Then
the computation,
why is it no payment?
The computation are internal assessments, my own internal assessment, yes, right? Not reconciled with my operator. But I agree. There's a liability to be paid. So I agree there's a liability to be paid, right? Yes, that's correct. So we'll go ahead and
and pay.
Book. Yes, we'll go ahead and pay.
It was also more than 1 year ago that you made any payments on this.
Yes.
It was more than 1 year ago, there is a principle that courts adopt, especially when you have issues that have to do with payments of rents and royalties like this.
Correct.
That principle is to ask that, at least as a first sign of commitment to good conscience, we give you a certain sum that you should pay within 24 hours, and then we give you a time frame to do your internal or joint reconciliation or whatever it is, by which you will be able to come back to us and tell us how much, how much progress has been made. Because we are talking about sums of money in excess of over 30 billion naira here.
But can I go ahead and state something here?
Madam, you can state.
Especially for the gas numbers. We did not get the gas numbers till, because we are not the ones that sell the gas, it's the operator. They go ahead, sell the gas, and then come back to us and share what our equity is. We don't have those gas numbers.
That's the 173.
Especially for the gas. The gas numbers we just got of recent. So basically, now that we know that there's a liability, so we'll go ahead and see how we can defray that.
Back and forth. We'll give you a sum that will show a commitment of good intention on your part to pay, and then give you a time frame for a resolution. What we do here is the work that you have committed into our hand as your representative. You elected us here so that we can all to work together to build a country. You understand, ma'am?
Correct.
And we are very conscious of the sensitive nature of this industry. And that is why at times we also hold back on certain things that we can do, but decide not to do. Even the regulators also have some powers, and we ask them to exercise some discretion in using those powers. So I will confer with my colleagues, and then we will we'll give you our ruling now. You want to say something before then?
Yes. As a company, our policy, we do not owe statutory payments, and you can see that is evident in our other assets that we're going to take after this as the operator of the asset. On that asset, you would see that we don't have any liability whatsoever on that asset. We have a huge challenge on this asset because of information dissemination and reconciliation. That's why it's showing as if we have an outstanding liability. We do not owe. You can check on the assets that we operate. We are going to take next after this. But now that we know that there's a liability, we'll show good faith and then, of course, pay what is being owed. But statutorily, we do not owe any amount as an operator. But there are certain, what's it called? Because we're not the operator of this asset, we have certain issues back and forth with the operator on getting information and what is due ours. But typically, we'll do what is necessary.
Do you want to respond to what you just said?
Well, actually, the way this thing works, the operator is in charge of. We don't deal with them in terms of volumes. Anything operation technical issues, we deal with the operator, and they have responsibility as a partner in the asset to engage operator so they can get clarity of what we have reconciled between commission and the operator. But unfortunately, I think for them, the operator is an NPC. It's an NPC. And I'm sorry to say, a lot of assets that NPC operate, the partners have challenges. That is why if you look at some of the assets like Eddie Western, like this First Hydrocarbon, 34 and others, if you look at it, that even though the equity partners, like Seplat, they are actually minority shareholders, they are operators. And when the operator is not an NPC, you will see that asset will be much more efficient in information dissemination, because the issue is like a balance something. Even though I'm the senior partner, that I decided to allow you to operate the asset. So when you operate, because I'm the senior partner, I have control over you. The asset is more of my own than your own. So you have responsibility to be more accountable to me, because I have many ways I can hold you. Like in terms of when you go for this financing the operation of the asset. That because this is the partner, you're the senior partner, this is the junior partner is the operator, and you actually the issue of budgeting and all that is on how to finance the asset so that you can get the benefit. More will come from the senior partner than the operator. But again, I always tell companies that you have responsibility to enter an agreement, because it's a commercial agreement between them. You have responsibility to ensure that in the agreement you enter with any partner, you are duly protected. That you put certain clauses that will give you right to actually exercise what you ought to have done. More particularly on issue of information. Like the volume, the basis of our assessment is the volume. And we do not reconcile volume with the non-operator. We reconcile with the operator, but we believe that the partner has responsibility to engage the operator so that he can get the equity of his own asset. From there, he can know the liability that he has. We have already advised the company that this is based on the reconciliation we had with the NNPC. Production numbers, these are the production numbers that we base our reconciliation, our assessment on. So we expected them to engage. If they have any issue with those information, they would have engaged the operator to ascertain, okay, where is this one coming from? Where are the differences? Because they ought to have been sharing information on daily production, monthly production, and the way reconciliation is signed, that they should have a copy of what is actually signed as the production numbers that is agreed by commission and the asset owners.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. You see, I don't want us to. It's a business relationship that you have with your operators, and it's a contractual. And the liabilities are also shareable in whatever percentage eventually when you do your reconciliation. That's correct. You have your own quantum of what that obligation is.
Yeah, but
You understand the point? So, like I said, we will ask that of this sum, you do a commitment to pay 20% of this sum within 5 days, and then we can, give you a time to sort out the issues of reconciliation with the NUPRC and your operator, and then we'll give you a very good time frame. But in 5 days, we want you to sort out 20% of this liability which you have carried forward for more than 1 year.
Chairman, you are so gracious.
That is
Chairman, so gracious.
well, I consulted widely.
Chairman, you are so gracious.
This side is too far away from us. This two sides is too far away from consultation. It's just a gesture of to get the gesture of commitment. From there. Yes, sir.
It's good for you.
So, madam, before we hit the gavel, that is what the committee is going to rule on. Do you want us to make it 35% or 40?
We expected 50-50.
Chairman, thank you so much. So, but can I make another request, please?
Go off.
There's a holiday this week.
Yeah.
The holiday is only 1 day, and that's tomorrow. That's why we gave you 5 days. So this is a Wednesday. You have Wednesday, Friday. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 5 days is Wednesday or next week, Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to plead with this honorable committee if they can give us 10 days. Please.
Oh, madam, let's leave it in 5 days, please. It is not too complex for you to apply within 5 days. 5 days is very, very good. Whoever anything makes a payment of 20% of the account liability. Honorable, let us go back.
Chairman.
No. We will not go back on that, please. That's the consensus of the committee that you take that payment. Thank you very much. And then we'll be giving you 14 days to carry out your reconciliation, both the internal reconciliation, whether with your operator or with the NUPRC or whoever you need to reconcile. We'll give you 14 days to do that. After which you'll be asked to return back to this committee for a report on the reconciliation.
Carry.
Thank you very much. Yes, please, we will require the evidence of payment after the 5-day window submitted to this honorable committee. The second one has to do with the energy. Am I pronouncing this correctly?
That's correct, energy.
Oh, okay. Energy, by the record we have here, there's a claim that there was a payment of some money by Energy on the 24th of April, is right? Oh, can you just speak to it, please? Microphone, please. Microphone.
Thank you. 282,513.05. That was the outstanding they had, and then they made payment in April. And then forwarded the submit to
okay. They made the payment in April of 24th.
It's gas flat.
That was last week. Last year?
Yeah, no, this year April. This year April.
This month.
This month.
How much?
282,513.05.
So does that clear off the total liability of Energy Resources?
Yeah, that was actually the outstanding. You know, Energy, they are contractual in their assets. They operate the asset on behalf of NNPC. It's a PSC asset. So their liability is limited to gas flare.
Okay.
Because in oil and gas operation, gas flare is a cost. So the contractor will take responsibility of the cost, and the other liabilities like all royalty, concession rental will be paid by the actual concession holder, which is NNPC.
We just got confirming that the payment was made last week of this sum of 282,513.05 USD. Madam, something about USD.
That's what I was trying to explain. We just have assets we're not operating. We're usually fully compliant in assets that we operate because we have full control.
Honorable colleague, any question? I think this one, they deserve a handshake on this one.
Yes.
Can we revisit? Sahara?
You said?
Can we revisit Sahara for the extension, timeline extension, as a sign of good faith?
We have closed that chapter.
We have filled the gavel.
We have moved on. We can give you an opportunity of a closing remark so that we can then expect you on the next date of appearance.
Honorable Chairman and honorable esteemed members of the committee, we have listened and taken your verdict, and then we'll go ahead and have the reconciliation with our operators and then appear on the next day of appearance. Thank you.
All right, and by next week we expect that whatever you call it of the payment refund. So on this basis, we want to discharge but not acquit OML18 and energy resources.